Welcome to Hunting Pixie Dust, your guide to finding the perfect Disney souvenir and discovering those magic moments to make your Disney vacations that much more special. Today, we are going to talk about one of my favorite souvenirs. As you can see, I have collected quite a number of souvenir popcorn buckets. I think they're wonderful, and as a disclaimer for this episode, I love them all. So don't ask me which one's my favorite. The smell of popcorn popping has been part of the Disneyland experience since opening day on July 17, 1955. Over 185,000 pounds of hot popcorn are enjoyed by guests each year. So it's a pretty big commodity in the park. And the smell is ubiquitous with your vacation. That and the smell of suntan lotion. I don't know. Both of those things mean Disneyland to me. One of my favorite things about popcorn in the Disneyland parks is the actual carts themselves. If you look closely at the carts, you will oftentimes see little mechanical figures who are busy helping make the popcorn. They usually have like some sort of mechanical turnstile thing that they're rotating. It's awesome. And usually the characters are themed for what park they're in. So if you're in Fantasyland, it might be a clown, or I believe I saw Dumbo once in New Orleans Square. Near Haunted Mansion, the guy is a little like caretaker, kind of ghostly looking guy. Near Matterhorn, it was a Yeti. They're just awesome. Over time, the popcorn buckets have changed from simple cardboard devices that are quickly emptied and thrown away, something akin to what you would find in a circus or a movie theater, to reusable buckets with a themed pattern on them. Now they have these souvenir buckets in a variety of shapes. You can find buckets of Disney characters, Disney vehicles, or honoring Disney events like Disneyland's 60th birthday. They will often have special buckets they sell only during special holiday events.
So now we're going to show you our popcorn buckets that we've collected over the years. And we're going to start with one of my favorites, R2-D2. R2-D2 was the first popcorn bucket that we got. I believe it was 2012?
2013 maybe?
Maybe 2013. It was the first one, and it kind of created our love of the popcorn buckets. And of course R2-D2 is my favorite Star Wars character. His head comes off here to allow the popcorn to go in.
The second popcorn bucket we got was this beautiful one right here. So Dumbo has a special place in my heart as one of the Disney movies I loved as a child. In fact, my mom picked my lullaby from Dumbo. And if you could tell me in the comments below what lullaby comes from that movie, that would be awesome, because it's one of my favorite Disney songs. And this one came with the ears detached so that you could carry it around the park easier, but once there, it is awfully cute. And you open it up, if you can do it, just like that. There's just this latch, this opens up right here. And it's not tons of room for your popcorn, but it is an awfully cute popcorn bucket, and I love it. And this one is when I learned that they would have special popcorn buckets depending on what land you were in. So for example, R2-D2 was in Tomorrowland, right, and Dumbo was in Fantasyland.
Yeah. And they also have different popcorn buckets based on parks. So California Adventurers will have different popcorn buckets than Disneyland. And sometimes they have the same. We'll show you one of those. So the next popcorn bucket we have is, I get all the Star Wars one, huge Star Wars fan, is our Darth Vader popcorn bucket. The Darth Vader came from the 2014 Star Wars weekend, basically celebrating May the 4th. And it's pretty basic little hat. I like him because he's actually larger than some of the other ones, especially like Dumbo or whatever. You have quite a bit of room there to put some popcorn.
So when we first started getting the popcorn buckets, originally, they would give you popcorn in your popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
With this one, because he was so huge inside, they actually refused to fill him up with popcorn, and they were able to actually fit the cardboard popcorn buckets inside of him. So, this is one of our newest popcorn buckets we just got when we went to Disneyland for our anniversary this last time. It's a little different in that the opening for the popcorn is in the back, and they do fill this one with popcorn when you buy it.
That one they filled.
And they'll fill it up to the point where it fills up the ears out as well, which is kind of cool, but it also is kind of hard to get washed afterwards.
Yeah.
It was a little hard to scrub and get my hands all up in there. This one is part of a series of popcorn buckets that was originally released for the Diamond celebration that they had. Originally they had a red one, a blue one, and a purple one.
Right.
Unfortunately, I didn't get those, which makes me sad, but I did get this one, which is awesome. And this one is unique because it comes with this special lanyard, I guess is what you would call it, that shows each of the different colors that you could have gotten in the popcorn bucket. And it has a Disney Parks logo on it and this handy dandy little thing that if you could pull apart if you needed to. Yay, it's pulled apart. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's an easy way to tell the older popcorn buckets from the newer ones. The older popcorn buckets all have this hard handle like Dumbo here. That is kind of annoying, but it wasn't too bad to carry around. Now they've all have these long lanyard type, which to me is much more convenient, and a lot of people are seen around the park.
It's easier to carry. Yeah.
Carrying them like as purses almost and stuff.
Definitely.
So, yay!
Yeah. All right, so the next one is one of my favorites, the TIE Fighter. The TIE Fighter is from the 2016 Season of the Force. It was there celebrating the opening of The Force Awakens. This one has a little less space than some of the other popcorn buckets, which is a little disappointing, but I mean, what are you talking? It's just cool.
It is. It's awesome. And this was actually given to us by my sister because she was visiting at the time. My other sister, not the one who gave me the pumpkin hat I mentioned earlier. She was visiting at the time and knew I loved the popcorn buckets, and she bought me this one as a gift.
And again, it's the newer ones. It has Star Wars lanyard. It says Force Awakens on it.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a incredibly supportive family who supports me in my Disney addiction. So the sister who bought me this one also bought me this one. And she was visiting the park, and this is just a beautiful popcorn bucket. There's so many intricate details. First of all, it moves. I mean, come on. It even has a little place, a little hitching on both sides of the pumpkin. So if you had like a, I don't know, a little girl who had a Barbie collection, or a little boy, or, you know,
some horses.
You could hook up some horses. You could do your own little display if you wanted to. It has a beautiful picture of Cinderella in it, plus the details of her coach, including a little stem up here. It's shaped and textured. It's just a beautiful popcorn bucket. Plus the lanyard again, so it's one of the newer ones. The lanyard has pixie dust. So, or actually more fairy godmother dust now that I'm looking at it. That is enchanting your wagon.
And it opens up at the top. And it's one of the more larger popcorn buckets. Quite a bit of popcorn in there. Yeah, that is probably one of the one of the nicer ones that we have. It's really nice, very unique.
Yes.
Moving along with my Star Wars theme, of course, we got the one that we just got this year. This is the AT-AT Popcorn Bucket. I love this one. This one was put out for the release of The Last Jedi. We were actually kind of lucky to get this one because it was in the park for quite a long time and we kept not getting it.
Well, they re-released it.
Oh, was that what happened? Yeah. That's where it came back?
During May the 4th. So originally it was released for The Last Jedi.
Right. And
then they re-released it for May the 4th, and we just happened to get lucky that they were still selling it when we visited again.
Right. So AT-AT is pretty cool. The legs are fully movable, so you can put them in different stances. Did it move a little bit? No, its head's pretty stiff.
It kind of rotates.
Kind of rotates a little bit. This one lifts up from the top, and you can put quite a bit in there. And when we first got this, Heidi was walking around with it, and a couple people thought it was actually a purse.
Yeah.
And so I thought about maybe putting some felt in here and turning this into kind of a little tiny purse. Probably not practical, but it could be fun for a costume or, you know, a limited thing.
Or like a Disney bounding.
Or for Disney bounding.
Yeah, it could be a nice little, maybe if I was bounding as an Imperial officer or something like that.
Yeah. So there's tons of things that you can do with these popcorn buckets after you purchase them. And one of them is you can turn them into a purse. Why not?
Okay. So our last popcorn bucket is obviously one of the older ones because it has the stiff plastic handle. And this one is one I really, really wanted.
That's your favorite?
So, yeah, I love Haunted Mansion. It is probably my favorite ride in the park. And when I found out that they were going to come out with a Hatbox Ghost popcorn bucket, I kind of went a little crazy, and I had a friend who was going down to Disneyland, and I begged and pleaded, and he was able to pick it up for me. And it is just such a cute Hatbox Ghost Mickey, and I just love him. He has a permanent place as part of our decor, and he has tons of space for popcorn inside if that's what you want to do with him. And I believe he was actually created in honor when they were doing the Hatbox Ghost, releasing the Hatbox Ghost in Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, so if people don't know, the Hatbox Ghost is a character in the Haunted Mansion that they've put in there. He's right after the attic, and he has a hat box in one hand, and his head disappears and reappears in the hat box, and then reappears back on his head. He's a really cool character.
And he has this really creepy cackle. Yeah. If you want to know more about him, we are probably going to cover him in one of our future episodes when we talk about the Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
But again, and you can see that he has his little hot box there. There's a little pumpkin head in there. Of course, because Mickey's head doesn't disappear like that. And it's just, I love the ears, the hat, everything about this.
I love how his hat comes off to film up.
Yeah. Thank you for watching Hunting Pixie Dust. If you enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe. Also, if you want notifications of when our next videos come on, click on the little bell icon next to the subscribe button.
And just so you know, we have new videos every Thursday and Saturday.
Thank you for watching.
And don't forget, if you know the name of the lullaby for Dumbo, put it in the comments below. See how many people know their Dumbo trivia.